So you've just been asked to give a speech. What are you going to talk about? One of the first things you need to know when deciding what your topic of a speech is going to be is what type of speech your audience is expecting. So I thought I'd help you out by explaining the types of speeches. Today, in this lecture, I'm going to talk about the 3 types of speeches: informative, persuasive, and entertaining. So let's get started by talking about the first type. That's informative. In an informative speech, all you're doing is teaching or conveying knowledge to your audience. So let's look at some examples of speeches to inform. We could give an informative speech about a person. So maybe we could talk about Barack Obama's leadership style. We could give an informative speech on how to do something. So in this case, how to bake awesome chocolate chip cookies. We can give an informative speech on an event that happened. For example, we could describe the phases of Hurricane Harvey. Or we could give an informative speech on a nebulous concept like what it means to be successful. So now that you have an idea of what informative speaking is, let's talk about persuasive speaking. Persuasive speaking is when you seek to change someone's opinion or their behavior. So let's look at some examples of speeches to persuade. You could give a persuasive speech trying to convince people of a fact, like that Tom Brady is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You could give a speech on whether something is good or bad, right or wrong, moral or immoral. So for example, you could argue that it's immoral not to wear your face mask in public due to COVID-19. You can give a persuasive speech on a policy or behavior that we should adopt, such as we should donate blood to the Red Cross. So now that you understand a little bit about persuasive speeches, let's discuss speeches to entertain. These are speeches that occur at events that celebrate or show respect for the event, with appropriate emotion, of course. So let's look at some examples of speeches to entertain. You could give a speech at a wedding to congratulate the happy couple. You can give a speech at a graduation to celebrate the event. You could give a speech at a funeral that commemorates someone who's just passed away to show respect. In public speaking, we call these types of speeches the general purpose of the speech, and we give it only 2 words: to inform, to persuade, to entertain. So after all that information, I guess you're wondering, why should you care about your speech type? Well, remember when we were trying to figure out what to talk about? The type of speech is the first clue to what you talk about. The type of speech also makes a difference in how you're going to approach your whole entire topic. And as we move through the semester, we're going to talk about those differences. But for today, what I need you to remember is that there's 3 types: to inform, in which you teach; to persuade, in which you change; and to entertain, in which you celebrate or show respect. And remember, the type is going to have a huge impact on your speech. See you in the next lecture, and thank you.